avoid gaining more fats during this pandemic season, by knowing your food well. I'm so happy to introduce our panelists here. The first one is none of the other, it's Madelyn. Madelyn is a certified nutritionist. Please say something. And we're so happy, we're so honored to have her. She will share a lot more of what we think is right in nutrition and how she helps to debunk some myths and misconceptions in diet. Madelyn, say a few words.
Hi everyone. Hi Josh. Thanks for having me. It's such an honor that I get to share my experience and also what I've learned in nutrition field with everyone. So hopefully this will be a fruitful session for everyone.
And personally, I learned quite a lot from her too. And we also have a few clients engaging with her. And one of them is actually Madelyn Chong. She is now a health enthusiast.
Hi everyone.
Hi Madelyn. Can you say a few words, Madelyn? Let me introduce a bit about Madelyn before she says something to you. If you remember, if you follow our social media, we had Sculptors season 1 back in 2017, and she is one of the candidates being able to transform herself from an old Madelyn to a new person who really knows how to have a good diet and who has really changed a lot in terms of the body shape, and she understands herself so much better. And now she is a totally new person that has already somehow transformed her to be a health enthusiast. Madelyn, sorry. Say something, Madelyn. Hi, say something to everyone.
Yeah, thanks for having me here, Josh. And also I would like to thank to Emily as well. I learned a lot from her that I know how to choose my food right, and yeah.
That's great. That's great. Thank you. The last one. I mean, everyone knows him, Dr. Lim, the medical director.
Hello. Hi. Thank you for coming.
Right. You want to say something first?
Yeah, thank you for coming. It's great. I think with the MCO, everybody has gained a little bit of weight. Might have been struggling with food because you have to prepare every day. So I think it's a great session that we can all learn from our nutritionist here, as well as we can learn from each other. So feel free to give us some tips or something that you feel strongly about. Tell us about it too.
Great. Hello, Ivy. I see you, Ivy here. Hi. Let's today, the main purpose is what Dr. Lee mentioned. We know that we are on lockdown for long. MCO now CMCO, whatever you call it. And we are trying so much to stay in a good shape. And first, our movement is so limited now. We can't do exercise as much as we did before. And when it comes to food, I mean, our lifestyle changed tremendously for the past weeks. And ask ourselves that how often we really open up the fridge. The tendency of doing so is seriously scary. Even myself, when I'm boring, when I feel bored.
You feel so bored. That's why you keep eating.
Yes, we need food to help us. I would say not only boredom, it could also due to the pressure, a hormone
anxiety. It's more like trying to release
for not being able to go out. We still
or sometimes I think sometimes you are confused that whether you are hungry or you are thirsty.
Thirsty, yeah.
Yeah.
This is a good point. So we've tried.
I always have that issue.
So, what to do, and in terms today, we will tell you a bit more on how to, choose the right food, and I hope that what Emily and the rest of the panelists, all of us here, will give you some tips to make your good diet more sustainable. Something that it's not really a quick fix. We want it to be sustainable, even if it is post-pandemic, post-MCO, post-lockdown. We would still maintain a healthy and balanced diet. That's what we want for everyone. Because I think this is pretty much important in whatever we do in life. Even you go to work out, even you come to the clinic for treatments and stuff, if your diet is not right, everything is not right. It takes, it is about 65 to 70% to determine.
So Yeah, so today it will be about an hour. So we will actually continue on and be to shorten as much as possible. So and we can come to question answers.
Yep.
Can we go to the next slide? Next thing. I think next we do. This is what we feel ourselves is, right? This is pretty much not feeling good, but we don't want everyone to feel this way, and we have our ability to change. So let's go to the next one. I think if you follow our mailing list, I mean, one of the mailing list recipients, we send quite a few tips on how not to get fat during this period, and this is so on and so forth. But today we're going to put more attention to diet. Next one. Emily, I think this is you. Wow.
Okay. So
wow.
It hits different, right?
How I become a nutritionist is actually I experienced this hormone imbalance thing. Because I am an actress, I'm always working in front of camera. So there are certain strict requirements that we need to follow, like, you need to look good in front of camera. You usually put on 20 to 30% of weight in front of the camera. So I always, before I become the nutritionist, I always do this to my body, which I try every single crash diet. You name it, I've tried, okay? So at first, it's really effective at first. And it's really fast. I can see my weight just drop as much as I wish. But to a certain point, when you are doing all these kind of tricks to your body, like I avoid all kind of fat in my diet. I pick my food. I do lots and lots of exercise until my body couldn't take it, to a point that my body couldn't take it. And in year 2010, it just went skyrocket. My weight just went skyrocket because my hormone just went haywire. So my weight shoot up from 48 kg to 72. That's that far that I know. Because whenever you hit that 72 mark, you don't feel like standing on the weighing machine anymore, because you just feel like running away from it, So I feel you. I know what is the feeling of being fat. So
Emily, can I ask you? So you say from 48 to 70, was it gradually? Was it within few months or a year, or was it immediately that you went up?
It's within a few months. That time I was filming a TV series, a drama series with MediaCorp, and you can see every single scene I look different.
Right.
Every single day I put on a bit. It's very demotivating, and also it's killing me as an actress, especially when you are working in front of the camera. So
were you panicking that time, and then you actually do more?
High stress, and I even forced myself not to eat, just drink vegetable soup and water. That's all. That's so bad, and I couldn't really sleep. And when your hormone went haywire, so my complexion is really bad. I have so much breakouts on my back, on my chin area, on my forehead area. So it's total mess.
Never go.
Okay.
Yeah. So I thought that, after that drama series shoot, I thought that's the end of my career. So I got nothing to do. So I don't have commercial shoot. I don't have, jobs that I usually have, like hosting, So I guess maybe that's the end of my career in front of the camera. So I decided, I just want to know what happened to my body. So when I go to the doctor suggests me to take hormone pills, which I'm quite against about it, because I know that once I started, I couldn't stop. So I just want to know what happened and what are the most sustainable way that I can cure myself from such dilemma. So I went for a course on holistic nutrition. So I will throughout the course, it took me about 3 years to graduate, to get a degree in nutrition. And that 1 year, the first year, I was
But in 1 year, you changed from...
Yeah. Yes, that is how quickly.
And
when
and you
you
shaved off
use
that
the
20 kilos.
Yes, in 10 months to be exact. In 10
Wow.
months to be exact.
Impressive.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
mainly diet without exercise. And after that 10 months, I feel stronger. I feel like I feed myself enough nutrition, and I feel that I have full of energy. Then only I'm able to work out.
That's
Wow.
right.
Yeah.
So today you will share your secrets to all of us, right?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Okay. I think this is pretty much inspirational story from her, from someone who, an actress, kept getting fat, and it's a turning point in life that she becomes a nutritionist now, a certified nutritionist. But I think before we go further, we'd like to do some polls with all of you. We have few questions. There are 3 questions to ask everyone. First question is about certain. Okay, please. You see, this is let's key in everything that you think it is right for you. We want to know what type of diet are you currently practicing. There's nothing wrong or right. It is pretty much a personal preference, and different body needs different kind of diet. And we just want to know roughly what is currently the population here joining the webinar. What kind of diet you're practicing now? Please fill it now. It takes about, maybe if everyone is doing it fast, I think within 30 to 40 seconds, you should be able to see the answer before you go a bit more, how to say, a bit deeper in that. So to dive in more to see what we can do. Okay. So I think more and more coming. Yeah, very good. So what kind of diet? Some people are on keto, paleo, high protein, low carb, vegan, fruit juice detox, and detox was once very, very popular. And a meal replacement diet, or no specific diet. Nothing's right, nothing's wrong. And just do whatever you think is right.
Actually, the poll helped me to understand what are your preference, and what are the things that will be helpful for you if I were to share about my experience and also some nutrition tips. So other than helping us, and it also help you to understand certain criteria and certain answers on that poll. We have 3 questions, right, Josh?
Yeah, it's getting there. We have 55 participants at the moment, and so far we're having 32 responses. Keep on coming more and more and more before we give you guys some time to think about it. Some people are still maybe in the dilemma whether I'm more on keto or more on or high protein, low carb, or yeah. So
you can actually choose more than one, is it? It's just...
No, this is just one. And the next question, we can choose more than one. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's getting there. It's getting there. I think, well, pretty much okay though. Look at I think slowly kicking in. We slowly see some patterns in the diet. And it doesn't mean that you are totally 100% on this kind of diet. What kind of diet is more? That will also be one of the answers here. What kind of diet you practice more? Sometimes you go back to normal diet. Normal diet, it could be no specific diet. You eat anything under the sun that is edible. I mean, yeah.
All right, should we?
I think we should end the poll. We should end the poll, and let's see the result. Guys, a lot of people are on high protein, low carb.
Okay.
Right.
That's very popular.
Second one is no specific diet.
More specific diet.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Jenny Cole says something. A well-balanced diet is very important. Our body is a complex system, and we will need different nutrients to meet optimal function, which is pretty true. Pretty true. Right. Which is true. Emily, you want to say something about it before you go to the next one?
Okay. So basically, they are pretty informed about what's healthy food. So we don't have much to do now.
Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next poll. What does eating healthy mean to you? You can select more than one. So is it coming up now, Elvin?
Yep.
Okay, what does eating healthy mean to you?
Yeah, that's well balanced. It's
Yeah.
that's fantastic answer. Yeah.
71%. Yep.
Yes.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay, so one. Oh, I think a
The
lot of
third
people are already doing it. So it's good. It's good. A lot of you have done it.
Right.
Okay. So the third one, which of the following would spike your insulin level, in your opinion? Will spike your insulin level a lot?
There's a lot of people choose potatoes.
Potato.
Okay.
Potato is so nutritious.
So what's your thought? What's your thought about this, Emily?
Yeah,
Maybe you can
actually,
share your opinion
actually,
on this.
potato, yes, it does spike insulin level, but carrots, lotus roots, beans, and low-fat yogurt actually do spike the insulin level as well. Because carrots is from the ground. Carrot is actually considered carbohydrates. Yes, everyone categorize carrots as vegetables, but there are roots vegetables, there are leafy vegetables, right? So basically, most of the roots vegetables, they contain a lot of sugar in it, and when you consume, it will truly spike your insulin level. Some people will say like, it's low GI. Yes, it is low GI, but somehow it couldn't compete with the fat food that is rich in fat and rich in protein, so butter, it doesn't spike your insulin level. It actually helps to slow down your blood sugar level in order to spike. And beans actually are considered carbs. There is a lot of sugar content. You don't believe me, you can always test your own blood sugar at home when you have a glucose machine. Spinach is considered leafy vegetable, so it doesn't spike your insulin level. It's pretty safe. Potato, yes, everyone's correct. And low fat yogurt, this is what we're gonna talk about in our beef. Should I talk about it?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
When we
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And chicken thigh with skin is actually a balance of protein and also fats, so it doesn't spike your insulin level.
Right.
So the take home here, can we conclude that any leafy kind of vegetables are generally with low insulin index, where they don't spike your insulin so much?
Yes.
And then when you talk about vegetables,
food that rich in fat and food that are rich in protein, they don't spike your insulin level. Many people say that, hey, beans is full of protein. Yes, it is, but it combined with a lot of sugar as well. Or else, how does a bean sprout?
Exactly.
You need sugar in order to sprout into into whatever the beans supposed to sprout.
Any root forms kind of vegetables is also rich in sucrose. It's rich in also carbohydrate as well.
Yes.
So a lot of times we have to take that into account.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now let's go to the next one. So after knowing all this, after we know the poll questions and stuff, I think what we can go now is going into food categories. I mean, food categories is pretty much important to know. Well, Emily, you want to say something about food categories now? It's very, very important.
With my experience with my clients, I realized that most of them, they couldn't recognize their food, or they couldn't categorize their food. So we thought that they know, but actually sometimes they make mistake. It's fine to make mistake. We just don't repeat our mistake. You see, the food category we separate it into. We categorize it to 4. The first one is carbohydrates. I'm sure everyone know what's carbohydrate, right? So pasta, rice, biscuits, and actually I will categorize fruits as the carbohydrate as well, because fruits, they are very rich in fructose, and this actually will spike your sugar level pretty quickly. So I consider them into the carbohydrates category. And another category is protein. Sure, you know protein. Fish, poultry, meat, egg, and dairy product.
Nuts.
Please do not include sausages, ham,
Processed.
luncheon meat.
Yes.
These are all considered
Processed
processed food. Yeah.
Madelyn,
And that actually processed food will spike your insulin and spike your sugar level.
Right.
To my surprise, that is according to the test that I did on my clients. So because sometimes clients like to prove that they are right. So usually I'll play a game with them, just ignore what I say, eat what you feel you are right, and you test your blood sugar level every hour after the meal, continuously every single hour for 4 times, and you compare the sugar level and you know what I'm talking about.
okay, all right. Madelyn, I think in
Yes.
the very first place, when you first even started knowing all this from Emily, you've gone through it, right? You've gone through it. You were doing something so much different last time. So how did you go through that? How did you change that? How did you slowly adapt to this kind of put you back on track to go through a healthy and normal lifestyle? How any funny incidences that you would like to share? I know you remember chicken breast and broccoli.
I took quite a long time to adapt.
Right.
I took quite a long time to adapt. I think more than 3 weeks, and I was like frustrated. I said, "What is this Emily doing to me?" And then I show her the portion of my food. I show what I eat, and then she says, "This is not right. This is not right." And I was like so frustrated, and I say, if everything is not right, so what am I going to eat? There's no food I can eat already. So Emily started to give me some ideas about if I say, let's say chicken breast is good. So it doesn't mean that you have to eat chicken breast every day.
Every single day, yeah.
Yes. So
That's very true.
Want to have a quick prep meal. I would just grill the chicken breast and boil the broccoli. And I just prepare 2 sets, morning, afternoon, and then when I come back, I eat the same food again because I doesn't want to think about it. And then I ask myself after a week or 10 days, and I ask myself, takkan I want to eat this every day until rest of my life.
My question to her is, are you feeling happy about your food?
I'm not happy at all. Yeah, and I try to cut all the carbs, and I think carbs is not good, but eventually I feel like I have a very big mood swing, and my husband, he was very suffer about it. Yeah, because I don't feel satisfied at all.
Right.
Yeah, even though I fill up my stomach, but I still feel like I need something more. Then I end up going curi go and eat some biscuits or sweets, and that's very bad. Yeah, that's very bad because you have the sweets craving already when you don't take carbs. Yeah,
I think what we want to bring everyone in together is that if you know your food well, you should enjoy your food instead of suffering, right?
That's right.
I'm not going to have steamed or grilled chicken breast with broccoli every single day. It's my God, my world is so great. I'm such a foodie, but we still need to enjoy food every now and then. So
actually, our body need different type of nutrition.
Precisely.
Why are you keep feeding the body the same thing over and over again? You are actually creating stress to your body.
Right.
So what we know, whenever you have stress, there's no way you're gonna lose weight.
I think
your body will just hang on to that fat, right?
Okay.
Yes.
The conversation comes to this point. I think a lot of people in their heart, thinking that, then what should I eat?
Yeah.
Let's take breakfast as a good example.
Yeah. So
should we go on breakfast then?
Oh my
this
God.
is a very popular Malaysian breakfast. Yeah. So as we know, our food category like carbohydrate, protein, fats, and fiber, right? You sure you know, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's dive into one of the example for Malaysian breakfast. So this one is toast bread with kaya butter. You sure they are using butter or not? Or they are using margarine? And coffee with condensed milk and egg. Okay, so we have egg as protein. Okay, we have bread as carbs. We have kaya as sugar. So we have coffee with condensed milk. With
consider butter as fat.
Yeah, and that's provided they are using butter or they are using margarine. So this is actually there are a lot of people do not know that margarine is not a good fat. Margarine is actually quite harmful to your health. Because margarine, it's a form of vegetable oil that they pump in nitrogen gas to make it into a solid form. So so it's actually very harmful to your body, especially to your liver and also your what do you call that? I'm thinking Malay hampadu. Yeah, pancreas and your what do you call hampadu?
Hampadu? Guts? No.
That digests all the fats.
Gallbladder.
Your bowel, gallbladder.
Yes, your gallbladder. That's the word. Gallbladder. Suddenly stuck. Okay. So basically Malaysian breakfast, you can see it's basically a lot of carbs. The carbs content is really high. Sugar content is really high.
Right.
And your protein is like so little and your fat is like, you don't know whether it's a good fat or it's a bad fat, right?
Okay.
So let's move to another one that we all thought is considered quite healthy, like, noodle soup with fish ball. So fish ball. Fish ball is processed food. So how do they process fish ball? So basically it's like compilation of fish and a lot of flour, right? So flour is considered carbs again. And you are having, like a bit of vegetables, a bit of meat, and a lot of noodles. So noodles are carbohydrates. So basically, this is a lot of carbs again to overly supply. Malaysian are always overly supply with all these carbs. And another popular breakfast, which is roti canai.
Right.
Yeah, what is roti canai made of?
Flour.
Flour, yeah, that's right. Flour and ghee and sugar, right? So, and someone said nasi lemak. Yes,
yeah,
nasi
I know,
lemak.
because nasi lemak is too common. Everyone.
yeah. Everyone will have it as okay, let's go to nasi lemak. Okay, nasi lemak, basically there is rice, a lot of rice, and 2 pieces of timun, cucumber, right? And half pieces of egg and sambal with a lot of sugar. Right. So basically that meal is all carbohydrates. Right. And very little of protein. So when you are having so much of a carbohydrate, actually it does spike your insulin level. And have you experienced whenever you have nasi lemak, you feel so sleepy after it?
Yes.
Right. I'm also very excited to see Jenny's question, which we're going to talk soon. Can try overnight oats with some bananas and strawberries as breakfast idea. Okay.
Let's go to a healthy breakfast.
What do you think? What do you think is healthy breakfast? Are all this healthy? Let's look at what are the food categories consist in. It's in this kind of breakfast. Emily,
Okay.
would you like to dissect by one?
Let's dissect the overnight oats with bananas and strawberries,
Yep.
and I'm sure you add in low-fat milk, right? Or milk.
Jenny may want to tell us later. Did you add in
Okay.
cream milk or low-fat milk?
Okay, let's dissect it. Like oats, which category does oats belong to? Carbohydrate, right? Although we know that they are high in fiber, but it does spike your insulin level as well. So the only way to stop or to slow down the insulin spike is actually to pair with rich fatty and rich protein food in order to slow them down, so that they don't spike so fast and you will experience like a sugar crash and you feel horrible, right? So other than oats is carbohydrates, and after you digest it turns to sugar. Banana is fruits, right? So fruits contains of fructose, so it still will spike your insulin level. Strawberries are also fruits, right? And basically that whole meal, it's all focused in carbohydrates only. There is no protein, there is no fats, there is no, to slow the insulin spike. Same goes to the granula that we see in the diagram.
Okay.
So granula, how do you make granula? There's, like oats and dry fruits, some nuts. Yes, nuts belongs to fats and they contain some protein as well. But when you bake your granula, you pour a whole cup of honey in it. So honey is sugar. So yeah. And how do you eat it? Actually, you add a bit of milk in it, right? So yeah, so basically what you are eating is like, it's not balanced. It's all towards the carbohydrate side.
Right.
So you actually need a balance.
Right.
And some of them, they really love juicing. I did juicing before, but I only take my juice after my breakfast. Okay, like juicing, there's the content of the juice, it really depends. If you put a lot of vegetables in it and lesser fruits, then it might taste awful, but it's better compared with you put everything like fruits only.
Understood.
Yeah, so fruits.
Okay.
If you only have fruits in your juice, in your green juice, then it will definitely spike your insulin level. But some say that, I add in coconut milk. Okay, there's at least some fat in it. I add in chia seed.
Soy protein.
And soy protein here, which is fine. But the problem is how well your body cope with that amount of sugar that you put into your body.
I mean, all of these food actually is a good source of.
No, they are good. Don't get me wrong, they are all good. It's just that you need to find a balance that suits you, suits your body.
I think one of the key takeaways everyone needs to know that try to balance it. All these foods are good, but how do you want to balance it to make it a complete meal so that your insulin does not spike up and low and too much of a fluctuation in that. So that's important. That's the key takeaways for everyone, I think. Right?
So it also depends that, like if you put like whole lot of 3 apples in it, but you still pour like half a cup of soy protein in it, it doesn't help to stop that speed of sugar spike.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right,
so
cool. Let's go to the next one to see. This is what comparison, Emily, poor and good.
Yeah. How would you know that you are having a good breakfast or a poor breakfast? It's very easy. Like just now, I gave you an example. Whenever you have like, nasi lemak in 7 o'clock in the morning, by 10 o'clock, I'm sure you feel hungry or tired You know, I have client told me that, you know, I never have breakfast. Whenever I have breakfast, I feel like I get hungry even quicker, even faster. So when I ask her, what do you have? She'll tell me, oh, I have Milo with some biscuits. So what is Milo? Sugar. Right? What is biscuit?
Sugar.
Carbohydrates.
Yes.
And it turns to sugar. So the more high sugar content or high carbs of breakfast, it will make you feel tired. It will not give you sustainable energy. So a good breakfast will sustain you throughout until noon or even past noon. Yeah.
I agree.
So
yes, I agree.
a bad breakfast, a poor breakfast, it will cause you to feel nostalgic. You will feel mood swing. You will feel very tired, and you will keep, you know, snagging. You know, like after you have your nasi lemak at 10 o'clock, then you feel so tired and so sleepy. You thought that, you know, a coffee might be good, so you make yourself a cup of Nescafe 3-in-1. So there's a lot of sugar in 3-in-1, right? Or maybe you get yourself like a piece of fruits. There's also sugar to hype it up. And maybe by 12 noon, you start to feel, oh, hungry again. You know, you get hungry so quickly. So quickly.
I think to wrap up, I think Ratun Hussein's question is pretty much valid and says, so what is your idea? What's the idea of good breakfast? Again, about balance.
Okay.
Right.
Actually, there is a diagram, but I can share it after.
Sure.
After that.
All right. Ratun, stay tuned, please. Right. Let's go to the next. Okay, this is next one. I mean, this is a really huge topic. I'm doing everything right, but I'm still not losing weight. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with my could be my diet, could be exercise or workout I do, but I still do not lose weight. I still do not achieve my desired results. And it's pretty much to do with insulin resistance and some, you know, metabolic syndrome or whatever. So I think we would like to have Dr. Lim. Would you like to explain a bit more?
Yes.
On how does body store fats in such a way?
Yeah, so I think just now Emily has talked about a lot about insulin spike and how we don't want food to have that kind of too much food with that insulin spike or even glucose spike. We say sugar spiking from food. We know that when the hormones that plays the biggest part in terms of controlling whether the food turns into our fat or actually being used as energy is two different hormones. One is called insulin and the one is called glucagon. Glucagon and insulin, they actually regulates the sugar in our body. So when the insulin level rises, your fat accumulates. That means energy is turned into fats. When your insulin level reduces, the adipose, the fat cells actually provide energy to the body. So we know that a lot of carbohydrates, when we say about carbs, we talk about carbohydrates. We have to know that there are certain carbohydrates that actually what we call lipogenic carbohydrates. That means those carbohydrates actually help. They tend to spike your insulin. They tend to bring out the insulin and actually turn all your energy into fat. And that's what we don't want. So that's why it's very important to understand what you eat, especially in the morning. If you are taking high like insulin index products, which most of the time also at the same time spike your sugar, that means this, because of the high sugar that it spikes out, it actually induces your insulin to come out. So that's why we talk about why we shouldn't have all your breakfast or all your meals having this high glucose index food or lipogenic products. So we know that what are the things that actually has is considered lipogenic carbohydrate. We know that just now we talked about flour. Refined flour is actually like your bread, like your cereals, like your pasta, they are considered lipogenic carbohydrates. The other kind is your carbohydrate drinks, carbohydrate liquids. So those are beers, those are fruit juices. A lot of people think fruit juice are the healthiest thing ever. Actually, it's not true. Yeah. Don't ever get into that kind of misconcept. And of course, fizzy drinks. We know a lot of people like pops. We call it pops. It's like soda, and it's a lot of these lipogenic carbohydrates. Exactly. So all your Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and these are things. Liquid. So we talk about liquid carbohydrates and certain food that is very rich in starch. Like we talked about potatoes earlier. Those are the ones, rice, corns. And those are things that you shouldn't take too much. Not that you cannot take at all. What we want to do is, again, these are not bad food, but it's that you really have to know how to tweak it and don't overtake it. I know a lot of us love rice. And some of us, if you don't eat rice in the morning, you will die. But think about maybe you kind of portion it out in a smaller way, because yes, you want some food that gives you a little bit of sugar so you can actually have that happy mode. But having too much of it, you actually push it all the way high up, just like what we shown earlier in the graph earlier. When you push it too high, then your insulin comes out and take all the sugar down, and then you suddenly felt like, I want something else. I just couldn't take it. So that is very important. And I think that probably summarized this whole thing.
Great. It's great. So let's go to the next one. What happens after that? So it's
actually, our physical is interrelated with our mood, our psychological. So whenever you experience blood sugar fluctuation, it will show in your mood. Like earlier, Madelyn shared before, like when she was having difficulty in coping her food, her diet. So she's having this mood swing, and her husband is the victim.
Complaining.
So many people thought that our physical is actually separate from our mental and our psychological. So actually, sometimes when your moods also can affect your hormones level as well. So yeah.
All right. I went to random questions about. Just go about this roller coaster kind of views. You talk about like you have a spike of insulin. This is going to happen where you end up storing more fat.
Spike of sugar. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, sugar. Yeah, sugar. No, sorry. So you end up storing more fats, or you end up using more of muscles as an energy. So if you maintain it well, you should be good. You should be good. You will not gaining more fats.
So the balanced diet, we will come to the balanced diet. The balanced diet will not cause so much of a roller coaster, and you will not feel so tired. Have you ever feel so tired after a meal? So whenever you feel tired after a meal, you might want to record it, and you might want to take note because that meal might cause too much of a calorie or too much of a sugar in it, that your body feels so tired digesting it.
Right.
Yeah.
It is also one question. I think this question is pretty much related to young athletes who want to have a boost of energy level. Is concerned about his energy level in the sport he's doing. So what kind of what kind of food that this young athlete should have?
Oh, athlete has a different kind of diet actually, because they are always active. The athlete that I knew, they train at least 2 to 3 times a day. So whenever they are training, they have a pre-workout and a post-workout meal.
Post-workout.
So so it's very different, especially when you are in athlete a performance base, what we call this.
Okay. Train 5 times a week for 3 hours every session. Wow.
Yep. Yep, that is how hard they train. So they have a different sets of diet. They are not they couldn't follow this general diet thing.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, they need a lot of energy. They need a lot of good proteins to support them in order to perform.
Okay.
It's a different sets of diet for them.
So I think this is a very, next one is going to be a very, very important answers that a lot of people are looking for.
Yeah.
Talk about this breakfast, that breakfast. So what is the right breakfast for Malaysians in general? So
yeah. So just a balanced diet. This is a very general guideline that suit a lot of people. If only you don't have any chronic disease. This is what I help some of my clients. They follow this very simple composition and ratio, and they manage to lose at least 6 to 8 kg within a month to 2.
Wow, fantastic.
I have a lot of testimony about this. So basically, it's just separate the portion into 4. Cut your plate every day, breakfast, lunch, dinner, separate it into 4. So there's a portion for protein, a portion for carbohydrates. I group carbohydrates and fruits together because they spike insulin. And salad with good fats. It doesn't have to be like leafy salad. It can be cucumber. It can be tomatoes. As long as it is very easy for you to get. Okay, and pair it with good fats. What I call good fats, such as nuts, raw nuts. Don't bake them because you'll spoil all the good fats in it. Olive oil. Do not cook your olive oil under high heat because, again, you are going to spoil them. Those who are able to withstand high heat are coconut oil, lard, or chicken skin. These are the animal fat that able to withstand high heat.
Okay.
And good fats also, avocados are considered good fats.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And also your leafy vegetables, another portion of leafy vegetables.
Okay.
Yeah.
And seeds, right? So
seeds,
Emily, also can you Emily, can you elaborate more on the bad fats as well, since you talk about good fats?
Bad fat. Yeah, like what we mentioned earlier, margarine. That I say it's gonna hurt your system because it's a vegetable oil and they add in a lot of nitrogen in order to make it solid. Bad fat, like I'm sorry to say that actually coconut oil is a good fat. It's a medium chain fat. It actually helps you when you are on a diet that you thought your weight was like stagnant. And I realized that when you have like MCT, like coconut oil, it helps you to bring down your weight even more. So bad fat, sunflower seed oil that you buy from the store and that is on the rack.
What about corn oil, Emily?
Sorry?
Corn oil.
Yeah, and corn oil.
Yeah,
okay, why I call them bad? Because they are highly processed. Have you ever tried a fresh sunflower seed? That you take it down from the sunflower and then you open it up and put it on the table. After 2 or 3 days, you will smell that, that kind of like the oil smell. So it's already like the seed, that you feel like it's already like rotten, So what makes you think that your sunflower seed oil can sustain for 2 years? Check out the expiry date on your corn oil or sunflower seed oil. It's actually heavily processed. So it gives a very deadly effect, I would say, to
Right.
your liver and also to your gallbladder.
Emily, what about
Right.
peanut oil?
Sorry?
Peanut oil.
Peanut oil.
Chinese cooking,
Yeah,
there's a lot of peanut oil. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
as long as it needs to be heavily processed, that it might cause your
Yeah.
body, something.
So guys, you should know what.
So basically, when we talk about fats, right? So we have the unsaturated fat, the saturated fat, and trans fat. So basically, all the processed fats, the processed oils
They
and stuff,
they
it
are
goes
very
into the trans
rich in
fat.
trans fat. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
So basically, we want, of course, the unsaturated fat is probably the ideal ones, but there are some saturated fat which is also
need
good for us.
saturated
Yes,
fat
we
too.
still need. Yes.
Yeah, because you need
Exactly.
unsaturated fat and saturated fat to build your hormones. They are the
Exactly.
core ingredients for your hormones.
Okay.
Right.
All right. I think that's pretty much about it. Yeah. I think we're going to our last session. We're talking about nutrition myths. If you have any, I think this kind of myths, a lot of people are having this kind of wrong perception. So we are here to help you debunk some misconception about nutrition, especially the always people like to avoid carbs when they want to lose weight. This is a very common misconception we always hear from people. Emily, from here.
I try keto. I try low carb diet before. You see the result. I mean, I always try all those crash diet in order to achieve a good look in front of the camera before I become a nutritionist. So it is, it's effective. You can see the result because your body tend to lose a lot of water. And after a while, when you go back to your normal diet, when you start eating carbs, then you will experience that what we call the yo-yo effect. It will actually double up what you have lost. So in the process, when you are cutting out all the carbs from your food, you will have mood swing, definitely. You cannot focus because actually our brain, they need a lot of glucose. The brain is just like 20% of your body, right? But this is the command center. So when it needs a lot of energy, you couldn't provide that energy, and how it feels, you will just hang, and you just couldn't process, and your body couldn't listen to you at all. Yeah, so cutting out carbs to lose weight is a bad idea. If only you can do it like forever for the rest of your life.
Right. Yeah. We are looking for a sustainable method here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think let's go to the next myth. Counting calories. I think a lot of people are crazy about counting calories nowadays. Madelyn, did you count calories before? Did you ever count calorie before?
Yes. I will just check on the nutrition facts on every food that I buy from the grocer, and end up right, I actually intake more calories than I think. I mean, like I actually intake more carbohydrates than I think. I thought counting calories will be the right way, but end up it's wrong. So it will like up and down for my weight. So for many years I cannot lose like 1 or 2 kgs.
All right,
but I think I am doing the right way already. Then I feel frustrated. Oh, okay. Actually, all this while I'm doing the wrong thing. Then after I met Emily, then now I know.
Counting calories is like, you're looking at diet or nutrition at the tip of the iceberg. You don't really see something overall.
Yeah.
For instance, we spoke about that just now. 2.5 glasses of Coke have more or less the same calorie content with a piece of chicken breast.
Chicken breast, yeah.
So which one gives you more health benefit or nutrition in that?
Just actually two cups of Coke, it will not sustain you.
Precisely. So,
right?
Again, we talk about the insulin index, sugar spike.
Much important. Yeah.
Actually, why are we counting calories? Because there are certain truths in it, like your body, your weight, your height, you might need a certain amount of calorie, but this calorie counting couldn't you couldn't make calorie counting as the most important factor. You have to take into consideration that the nutrition value as well, the nutrition calories as well, because your body don't just digest calories, you know. They need a lot of nutrient from it in order to, you know, regenerate the cell, you know, do other metabolic activity in your body.
That's good.
Yeah, you brought a very, very important point here. So when we talk about calories, talking about calories, of course, you want to limit certain calories into certain days according to your body type. But then again, there are certain calories that comes in different form. Some actually gives you a lot of sugar. So these calories will immediately be absorbed and turn into fat. So these are things that we have to take into. So we have to look into overall, yes, you need to look into overall calories you can take in a day, because the more calories you take in also will translate into storage, into fat. Yeah. But at the same time, you also want to see that kind of calories, how would you divide them into all your different types of food?
Yeah, even though you are taking food that is that will not spike your sugar level, but if you overeat it, like when someone say, oh, salmon fish is good, so you overeat salmon fish, you overeat until you know that exceed your calorie limit. So it will also turn into fat, and your body will still store fat as well.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Same thing goes to the high protein food. You keep having a lot of protein, and to a certain extent, it's just fat.
But to my surprise, I checked with one of my clients before, and I test on a few groups of them. Those who are obsessed about high protein food, they keep on eating protein. They thought they are safe. And when they exceed the calorie limit, when you check on their insulin level, right, it actually spikes.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
Good point. It's a good point. Okay. Right. Let's go to the next myth. Third last myth. Okay. Fruits before meal is ideal. I think this is a question to a lot of people. They always think that, do I have fruits before and after, or after? So Madelyn, you were struggling with that last time too, right?
Yes, I spend a lot of money every month buying fruits because my breakfast is fruits and oats, and I would add in honey as well.
Okay.
I thought that would be very complete for my breakfast. Then ended up, okay, I'm wrong again.
What happens if you have fruits before meal? When we are hungry, you have low blood sugar, and we have something, you know, we have.
Yeah.
What happens?
Especially when you have empty stomach and you eat fruits, it actually does spike your insulin level even faster.
So guys, you think about it, having fruits before meal, whether it's a good idea or not, I think this is pretty much clear here, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would suggest.
Yes.
I would suggest actually, if you plan to have fruits, just have your fruits after a meal, especially a balanced meal.
Yeah, a balanced meal. Okay.
Replace your carbohydrate. If you plan to have fruits, then replace that portion, the portion of a carbohydrate.
Yeah. Still go back to the right portion.
Yes, portion and composition.
Right. Composition. Okay. All right. The second last myth. Low-fat products, low-fat dairies help in this way. How many of you actually always get low-fat dairies or low-fat products from the shelf in the supermarket? What do you think? Emily, would you like to tell all of us here what happens that?
Yeah, I used to have a lot of low-fat milk or skim milk before I become a nutritionist. After I study about it, then I totally understand why there is no need to spend your money in such a product, because you know, when you take out fat from the milk, the fat turn out to be grayish and very dilute. You know, how can you sell fat-free milk to a consumer if it is that kind of form, gray color and dilute. So you couldn't, right? So what did they do is they will add in carbs. That means in a powder form. They will add in carbs in powder form in order to thicken the liquid. And in order to make the taste better, they will add in extra sugar as well. So basically, fat-free or low-fat milk, if you don't believe me, you just go to the nutrition fact and read it. I'm sure you'll find, and compare them with the full cream milk. And you will find that, there is higher carbohydrates, higher sugar content in a low-fat milk compared with the full cream milk. And
I think those two dairies, other dairies like yogurt, cheeses.
Yeah.
Right.
So actually, low-fat product, they are high in carbohydrate content. So always go for full cream milk because it's the fats and the protein that stop the sugar level, that the sugar in the milk to spike.
Okay.
And also another point, which is if you are having full cream milk, if you are having low-fat milk, you wanted to absorb the calcium in milk, right? You wanted to have the full nutrient in milk. But in order for you to absorb calcium, you need a vitamin D to help you absorb calcium, right? So vitamin D is a fat-soluble vitamin. So what happens if you take away the fat? You are not going to have vitamin D in it. You are not going to have your calcium, right? So basically, what are you drinking when you are drinking fat-free milk? Think about it.
Right. I think QQ asked the question, so what to eat for people on vegan diet? It's another whole lot of huge topic.
Oh, it's a huge topic, yeah. We need another hour to talk about it.
I think
That's part two. That's part two.
It may become part 2, part 3 for that.
Then you couldn't have milk here. You cannot have cow milk.
Almond
milk. You cannot have cow.
Yeah. I would like to respond to one of the questions that asking me about coffee and tea. Does coffee and tea helps to lose weight?
Yes.
It actually boosts your cortisol. We call the stress hormone, right, Dr. Lim? It actually will affect on your cortisol. I found this study on my client where those who drink coffee empty stomach or drink tea, which is high in caffeine content, and I checked on their sugar level, it actually spikes. So tea and coffee, to my surprise.
Really?
Yeah. Coffee, tea, caffeine kind of drinks, it actually spikes your insulin level, which I'm very surprised because you see, when you are on stress, it actually bring up your cortisol level. When your cortisol level is up, and it actually will also it will also affect your insulin level as well. It's like
changes the hormones. Yes.
Right.
In fact, cortisol and insulin, they actually work very closely together.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Let's go to the last minute.
Skipping dinners. Yeah, I did that before.
I think, well,
all of us did.
Yeah.
I did that before too, I admit.
But to me, it really
works.
depends.
It works initially.
Yeah, it works.
It works initially. Yeah.
But there is so much stress that you put on.
Exactly.
I think skipping dinner is different from intermittent fasting.
Yeah. Yes.
Right. Intermittent fasting, you are controlling the hours of food that you put into your body, right? But skipping dinner is like you totally cut dinners. It's like a crash diet to me. And we did this study as well. Remember, Dr. Lim? that one of our one of your patient, that she skipped her dinner, and the next morning when she checked on her glucose level and it's like so high, and she was like, "Why? I didn't have dinner."
Okay, I think that's pretty much of it. Because before that, also there was someone asking about intermittent fasting as well. But intermittent fasting, if you do it right in the right amount of time, specific time on window of time you eat and drink, caloric kind of food that is good for you, but not skipping dinners every night for that. It's not right.
Yeah.
Okay. I think this is pretty much about that. This is Emily. If you would like to keep in touch with her to know more about, I think today's conversation is pretty much on the surface. I mean, it doesn't dive deep into the person's need. If you want to contact her, you can always connect with her on a IG and FB. This is what
you can always DM me.
I think this is pretty much a very useful session. We would still see if there's any incoming questions that we could answer before we end this session, because it's more than slightly 1 hour and 6 minutes. And if you would like to know more, to stay tuned with our next webinar, talking about something else, about how to maintain a good body shape.
More about the different diets.
Diet, different types of diet. Please let us know. Communicate with us. If you would like to have certain diet that you want us to discuss about, we are more than happy to organize upcoming webinars. And this is pretty much on how to control your weight, how to maintain your weight, and how to have it's all in the direction of your goal to get a desired body shape. So pretty much in terms of what Clique is doing is on the slim side. So in body study, we have slim, we have sculpt, we have tone, and we have firm. So this is pretty much on the slim side. So you need to have a good diet and plus exercise routine as well. This is a good complement before you could really want some help, extra help from medical aesthetics in such a way. So I think it's pretty much useful. Thank you so much, Emily. Thank you so much, Madelyn, for your willingness.
Thank you.
And
thank you.
Thank you everyone for joining us, and we hope to have more.
So yeah, one thing is, if you have any questions that you want to understand more about diet, or how to actually, because of the MCO and you kind of gain some weight and you want to share it off, feel free to contact us through all these channels, and we'll have doctors that can actually, and even Emily can do some online virtual consultation with you. And also we can actually sort of give you some advice about it. Drop by anytime soon.
Yep.
And if you would like to continue to really rewatch it or replay this webinar, we will post it on social media, and stay tuned and follow our IG and Facebook, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel for that. Or if you want to even have more personalized question to ask, please, by all means, WhatsApp us and we will answer you accordingly. All right? Or if you have any more questions privately you want to ask, please do so.